somebody knocked at my door, and I opened it, and my friend was standing there, and she had Landon in her arms, and I said, "Has he been back down to your room again?" And she said, "I found him standing on the sidewalk outside. He had gone down a flight of steps and was standing on the street, looking in a store window. And he 8 or 9 months old, no more than 10 months old at that time. And I had to really keep my eye on him because he was always on the go. My name is Charlotte Brooks, and I am Landon Brooks' mother. I had 4 children. I had Lakeista, Landon, and the twins. And there's almost 7 years between all of them. My oldest daughter, Lakeista, she was my first. She it was a kind of a maybe her growing up years was maybe a little difficult being biracial in those days. She was born in 1976, and that was, it was kind of, I guess it was kind of tough on her. But she was a wonderful child. She was always a good child, never in trouble. But as children grow and get older and everything, and in high school and everything, she had a ton of friends. Always. She was such a sweet girl, and people loved her. I did not realize, I don't know if she knew everybody that was at the party, but if she did, she had a lot of friends. But I'm not sure how old. Maybe she was 23 when she got the diagnosis that she had sarcoidosis. She started getting, it seemed like she kept bronchitis, a cough all the time. And we were in the emergency room, and they done the chest x-rays and everything, and came back and told us that she had sarcoidosis, which was in her bronchial tubes. Is where it started, but it spreads throughout your body. I had gotten up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. She was at my house, and we were sleeping in the same bed, and I got up to go to the bathroom, and when I get back in the bed and everything, and was laying there, and I didn't hear her breathing, and I leaned in a little closer to, and still didn't hear anything, and I called her name and I shook her, and she didn't respond, and I jumped up and started shaking her. No response. I started screaming, call 911, and her son and her baby girl, Alexis, were there. The emergency person on the phone was saying she had to be flat on the floor. So it was kind of hard to get those pillows out from under her, and I was just tugging and trying, and the kids, they didn't know what to do. She passed away January the 9th of 2010, and she was just 33 years old. We all have a time. We all have a place that we will be gone to. It's already predestined, our time and our day and how we're going. And it took me a long time to realize that.
At the age of 15, I met my wife, Charlotte, in West End, Alabama. And she was like the girl of my dream, and long hair, and I guess I was about 14, 15 years old. And we started dating, and it was very, very, very racist at that particular time. My dad West End, but I took my chances to go see her and stuff like that. And I was still in and out of trouble and doing the things that a kid did coming up in a board town with nothing to do. And I decided that at the age of 16, I would get married. Brother John Nellis married me and my wife, Charlotte Shoemaker. We were one of the first interracial couples walking the street. We got called all everything but the child of God, you know what I mean? But we kept it on the road and things got kind of hectic, so we decided we'll move to California.
And about 27 years old, I have my son Landon, born in California, on December the 2nd of 1982.
When we went to California, I know no one. She know no one. Once we got out there, I was really excited, you know what I mean? And it was one of those things where you come into from a small town into LA. LA is very, very large. And we got caught up doing drugs, which it got worse and worse and worse. And then I started going in and out of the jails and trying to survive for my family. And in between time, in the meantime, there come Landon. We kind of maintained for a period of time. And things really got out of control, and it just, I wasn't living on life term. I thought the world was mine. I did what I wanted to do in LA. After about a year, I just went like berserk, you know what I mean? Yeah, after a year, it was like, I was thinking like an animal, you know what I mean? Just on instinct, whatever my mind should do, that's what I did, you know what I mean, to survive for my family and protect my family and stuff like that. Because I didn't know nobody. I was young, and I never clicked up and went in no type of gang banging, but I had a little crew of guys around me. But all along like thuggish, and it was in the street, in that world, you know what I mean, doing drugs and drinking and wilding out, and yeah. Like I said, I just turned into like an animal. Through the programs that I went to, I found some of myself, you know what I mean? So I could deal with it, because I had a problem in that. I didn't think I had a problem, but I really, really, really had a problem, a serious problem. And until I started taking the classes and stuff like that, I got much better coping with it, you know what I mean? I know being a man, I gotta take care of home and stuff like that. I know I ain't been the best of husband and to my wife and stuff like that. And we went through all those things, but I still love her right today, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't take nothing for it, you know what I mean? And I seen quite a few people get killed while I was out there. And I did time in California with San Quentin, Folsom, Soledad, and seen a lot of killing and murders while I was doing time. I was around Charles Manson and Richard Bono and Hollywood Henderson and uh, Rick James, and while I was incarcerated. And things really, maybe I could have got out a little earlier, but I got in there and I'm still wilding out, you know what I mean? It's like kill or be killed, you know what I mean? And I had to protect myself, and I started taking classes, anger management, stress management, and started kind of going to church, and it kind of brought me down to where I wanted to be. And I know it's easy to say I'm a man, but men take on man responsibility, in which I always did that, but that still didn't make me a man, and because I never did grow up, because I still did made bad decisions and stuff like that. And after I did time, and yeah, and while I was in California, Lana was born in California, Long Beach, California, and that was another responsibility. I was worried, what we gonna do now? What we gonna do now? And I stayed in that world out there, breaking the law, hustling, shooting dice, playing cards, whatever you want to do. I know about it, or know something about it. You know what I mean? And, you know what I mean? Like I was some type of god. You know what I mean? I had a lot of followers because I had a lot of heart and stuff like that, and I know how to survive in the streets, you know. And but all that behind me now. God delivered me. It changed my life because I always wanted a son, and but through the events, he was in my life, you know what I mean. But I wasn't being a man. I wasn't there for him at times. He really needed me and stuff like that, because I was still out there thugging and trying to survive and making ends meet and stuff like that, and in and out the prison system. The only time I was seeing them, they come visit me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it really just blowed my cap back, you know what I mean? When I seen him in the newspapers, he got a modeling career in high school, and I was very, very proud of him, you know what I mean? They said my son is a celebrity right today. They said your son's a celebrity, you know what I mean? But he worked very, very hard for what he had today, and I am really, really proud of him. I am proud of it. You know, it wasn't a doubt in my mind. So no guidance, I'm not there, you know what I mean? And I know boys, they need a man in their life. A mom can do so much, but they still need that male in their life somewhere down the road, you know what I mean? And I can't do nothing but give him good advice. He's been a wonderful kid, you know what I mean? He worked whatever he had today, he deserved every bit of it, you know what I mean? So he worked hard for it.
evidently the universe has something else for you to do.
Wow. Thank you, sir. That
Thank
was a
you.
pleasure.